Welcome back to my channel, Gratitude as a Lifestyle with Cebu Fit. Thank you for your continued support. Please stick around until the end of the video, like, comment, and subscribe for us to grow together. Today, I'm going to share an exciting journey, how I started my first ever business in the United Kingdom. I always wanted to become an entrepreneur, not just an entrepreneur, but a very successful entrepreneur. I had loads of business ideas, six figures business ideas, businesses that would generate six figures. And these businesses required a lot of capital to start them, which I didn't have. Going to the bank to get a loan is very difficult when you're a new business person. To meet the criteria they measure you against is very difficult. They are looking to see, are you not a risk? Are you going to be able to run this business successfully? Is it going to return good profit for you to be able to pay back the money? And it's very difficult to meet this criteria when you are new. I kept on going back to the drawing board. And the reality was I couldn't start these six-figure businesses because I didn't have the income to start. I started asking myself, what is it I can do? What skill can I utilize at the minute which does not require a lot of business capital to start off with? I kept on racking my brain about this. And each time I would convince myself, for you to be this successful entrepreneur you want to become, you've got to start with something big. You've got to start with something big. And I came back to asking myself again, how can I start with something big when I don't have the capital? So it was the battle of the mind between these two questions. You have to start with something big. How can you start when you don't have the money to start? At the time, I had my two children. I was working a 9-to-5 job. I needed extra cash to pay for my daughter's school bus. She was going to a different school, which wasn't in the same catchment area as we lived in. If she was going to the catchment area, she would have had a free school bus. I wanted her to go to a different school, and I had to pay for the bus. I was stuck. I would work my 9-to-5 job, and I would go from there, straight from there, really tired, to go and do my cleaning job to earn extra cash to be able to pay for my daughter to go to school. One day, I asked myself, I had a light bulb moment. I knew I was enjoying Zumba. I was going to Zumba classes, enjoying myself. I thought, wow, I can teach Zumba. I can become a Zumba instructor. Being a Zumba instructor, I don't think it requires a lot of money. I can become one. I will be promoting a healthy lifestyle, making a difference in people's lives while I'm earning extra cash. I went to my Zumba instructor, Carrie, at Penland Leisure Center. I asked her, I said, Carrie, how can I become a Zumba instructor? She smiled at me. She said, do you want to become a Zumba instructor? I said, yes, I want to become a Zumba instructor. I enjoy your classes so much. I believe I can do this, Carrie. And Carrie was so supportive. She walked me through how to become a Zumba instructor. I went back home. I was so excited. I booked my training course to become a Zumba instructor. I attended my Zumba training. When I came back from there, I was now qualified. I was asking myself, where do I start? I started off by telling people who were close to me that I am now a qualified Zumba instructor. I'm going to start my Zumba classes. And they were really supportive. My sister was really supportive. She was like, go for it. You can do this. I started printing out leaflets, advertising for my Zumba classes. I had a few people who would tell me that becoming a Zumba instructor is not going to give you a lot of money, and there are a lot of Zumba instructors about. It's very difficult to penetrate the market. These people have been teaching for a very, very long time. I said to myself, I'm going to try. I know it's difficult. Whenever you're starting something new, it's very difficult, but I'm going to give it a go. I advertised my classes. I went to my local community center. I asked them if I could rent a place once every week to do my classes. I got the place. I started doing my classes. It was very difficult. I remember my daughter and I would turn up for a class. Sometimes nobody would come. The first weeks, nobody would come for the Zumba class. My daughter and I would do the class. I would say to my daughter, come on, it's Zumba time now. Let's do it. And we would do that class and finish off, pack up everything and go home. Then one person started attending. When one person attended, they would say to us, oh, it's okay. You know, I can see that it's only you and your daughter. We can go back. We don't have to do the class. I would say, no, we are doing the class. My daughter and I, we would do the class as though there was a room full of people. You know what the Bible says, that you have to be faithful with the little for God to add on. We would do that class as though there was a full room. The room was full of people doing Zumba. We continued like that, and the classes started progressing. People started knowing about our Zumba classes. They would come to our classes. We started building from there. One thing which I learned on this journey was you need to look at what you've got. As much as you would like to start a business, as much as you would like to be successful, you don't have to start off with something big. You can start small. The important thing is to start. When you start, you become visible. And when you become visible, opportunities present themselves to you. These opportunities will never present themselves if you don't start. As I progressed with my journey of becoming, of teaching Zumba, many people started coming to my class. Word of mouth went around about my Zumba classes. I started getting business deals from local groups. I got a business deal from Swansea Local Authority. They said, can you teach for us? Teach, it was called, what was it called? I was teaching in the park. I would teach 2 classes in the park every week for Swansea Local Authority. They would pay me. So we moved from, if one person turned up, I would still get paid my hourly rates, which I would have charged them. Whereas when I'm running my own classes, if one person turned up, I would only get £4.50. I think it was £4.50, or it was even £3 at the time. But when I started teaching for the local authority, I would get my full rate no matter who turned up. I started teaching for African Community Center. I started teaching for the Congolese development. I started teaching for a whole lot of communities. This started by putting myself out there, by believing that I could do it, by believing that I could start small and grow from there. This was my lesson. This was the most valuable lesson I learned, that you don't have to be big to get started. But for you to be big, you need to get started. Today, I want to speak to somebody who is sitting on the fence, who is having these discussions with themselves. I want to start a business, but the business requires a lot of money. How can I start? Please look for something which you can do. Look for a skill which you have, which can help you to generate this extra income you want to generate and to build yourself as an entrepreneur. When I was teaching Zumba, my mouth is dry. It's good to stay hydrated. When I was teaching Zumba, I realized that it was a training ground for me. It wasn't just teaching Zumba. It was teaching me resilience. It was teaching me confidence of having to stand in front of people to deliver that session, the Zumba session. It was teaching me planning. It was teaching me business acumen. It was teaching me a whole lot of skills, which was preparing me for my next journey, which was preparing me for that six-figure business. Today, if you are here, if you are listening to me speaking, please go back on the drawing board. I'm not saying don't start those six-figure businesses. If you are not able to start them right now, please put them aside and look at what is it I can start with? What is my fastball? And go with that. As you are faithful with a little, God will add on. Opportunities will come. Opportunities might take time to come. It took time for these opportunities to come for me. I had to be consistent. And then God saw my heart. God saw the consistency. And from then, business deals started coming about. And from there, it gave me a lot of confidence to say, yes, you can do more. You can do better. What is it, again, which you can do, which does not require a lot of capital to start off with? I started thinking, wow, I can become a mindset coach. I can start coaching other people. Self-growth. It was there in front of my face. So I went then. The money I got from Zumba, I was getting from Zumba. I started developing myself to go on courses, to become a life coach. And that was my second business. And things did not stop there. So it's good to get started. A lot of people who are great business people today, they had to start somewhere. Every journey begins with a step. Every entrepreneur, every successful business person was once a beginner. They had to start somewhere. Today, I'm going to leave you with this question. Where are you going to start from? Look at your fastball. Look at what you've got. You've got a lot of skills which you can utilize to start your journey to the six-figure business. Until we meet again, Cebu Fit here. Remember, gratitude is a lifestyle. Don't lose your gratitude, and there's got to be more to life. There is more to life. You've got that skill. You can do it. Share with me when you start your business. Share with me how you're getting on. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Cebu Fit here. Remain blessed.